Have you perfected your sit on camera so you always look good?
My sit?
Yeah, like how you sit, like a certain way.
No, it's not great.
You're still trying to find that.
Yeah, I'm still in the workshop on the sit.
Yeah. I've always wondered because like some people you see on camera, like on talk shows, and they look like effortlessly cool, and other people look really uncomfortable.
5, 6, 7, 8. We got Big Theater Kid Energy.
Hello and welcome to Big Theater Kid Energy, your least pretentious theater review podcast. I am your host, Ryan Garcia, and I went and saw Death of a Salesman at A Noise Within Theater, which is running through April 19th. And I went and saw that show, and I have to take a breath for this intro. With an LA multi-hyphenate who works more consistently than anyone I know. He worked consistently since he's landed in LA in projects like Emma Approved, The Lincoln Lawyer, The Morning Show, Lucifer, the movie LBJ. He wrote and starred in a Lifetime movie, The Holiday Dating Guide, has been in more commercials than I am willing to name. That's right, it's Target's very own Hot Santa, Brent Bailey.
You got the helicopter to fly over as we did that.
Isn't that
perfect.
cool? Yeah, it's actually carrying a sign that says Brent Bailey.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome, Brent.
Hello.
Thank you for coming to a night at the theater with me.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Brent Bailey, wow, it really takes a lot of energy to talk about your resume. Because you're just like one of the most consistent workers. And I mean that in like every sense of the word, because I feel like even when you're not working on set, you keep yourself busy.
I do. I try to.
What's that about?
Idle hands what's that saying? It's like idle hands are something that's not good.
Yeah, idle hands are something that's not good. I think that is the saying.
Yeah, I think that's the exact word for word. I get really stir crazy. I like to be doing things. I like to feel productive. I like to keep like creativity flowing. And so if I'm not doing anything for too long, then I just take too many naps, and it's just not good for me.
Are you a napper?
I used to nap all the time. My family is just generational nappers. My parents love naps. I used to love naps. My girlfriend hates naps.
Yeah, I'm not a nap person. Kelly loves naps.
Oh.
But for me, it's just like, I don't think I ever got good at it. I would go to nap and I would wake up disoriented, confused.
That means you had a great nap.
Right, but
that means you were doing it so well.
I don't like that feeling, though. If I was doing it, if that's successful, I feel like most people say, oh, no, you had that 20-minute power nap and you wake up energized.
I don't do those naps. I go to sleep for 2 to 4 hours.
I don't like to go to sleep and wake up and it's dark.
I could see that. That would be not fun.
I don't like that at all. But also, like, you are such a handyman around your house. Like, it feels like every time I talk to you, you're like, oh, yeah, I cut my door in half, so it's a Dutch door now.
Yep, that did happen. And this last weekend, Ashley and I just redid the guest house. So we ripped out all the floors, put in all new floors. She did a lot of, like, the hard measuring stuff. I just did the cutting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're always doing something.
The cutting's really important, though.
You know,
the measuring's the most important.
Yeah, measure twice, cut once.
Mm-hmm. Idle hands, that's not a good thing.
Exactly. we're nailing all of these. But yeah, I'd like to stay busy.
You stay busy, and you also, because I mean, like, I'm not trying to. I want to talk about your some things that you've done, because I also think it just kind of there's something actually crazy that aligns with the show that we saw, which is the handyman aspect of you. The way that Willie Loman feels about a man who doesn't know how to use tools,
right?
Isn't a real man.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're just like, it seems from the outside so well versed, and if you're not, you teach yourself how to do things, which we do live in the era of that.
Yeah, I mean, YouTube teaches you how to do anything.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible, and to not take advantage of it is just like to nap all day.
Exactly. I've become a much better person dating my girlfriend.
Do you miss naps?
Every once in a while, like if she goes out of town, I definitely sneak a nap.
Oh, you
sneaking a nap?
She's not around.
Yep. If she's not there, I'm like, let's do it. I'm gonna nap.
And then you also do headshot photography as well.
I do. Yeah, I had 2 shoots today.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're wanting for work. Like, it feels like you're very busy all the time on set.
Yeah.
Or auditioning or...
Yeah, the headshot thing, I think, I started it back in 2000 and maybe like 10.
Yeah.
And at that time, it was more of I guess like a little, like I wasn't doing as well financially. So I was like, I need some supplemental income, and it worked out great for that reason. And now I still love having extra money for, vacations or food or whatever, something fun. But I also just really like being able to talk to actors, hear about different people's experiences, meet new people. And then I keep my headshots so cheap. So I like to be able to help actors that can't really afford headshots.
Oh, that's so cool. Is there that just right now, right at the gate, like, is there a place people can go to learn about your headshots or book your headshots or
Yeah, it's just Instagram, and it's called Artist Footprint.
Artist Footprint?
Yeah, and it'll lead you to a booking page. And then
Go on to Instagram, look up Artist Footprint, not artists.
Nope, just
Footprint.
artists.
There's not a bunch of artists.
Nope,
it's
just
just the
one.
one artist, Brent Bailey.
No, just
Artist
one footprint, not
And
footprints.
It's a one-legged one artist
Yep, exactly.
in there shooting. That's so cool. Yeah. I kind of feel that way. I can totally relate to that because I feel that way about teaching, where teaching keeps me like very much tapped into, because if you're just auditioning, you're really only seeing the things that you're right for
Totally.
in the world.
Yep.
And if you take headshots or if you teach, or you got some other way to be tapped into it, you're learning about the wide breadth of types and styles and things that are happening in people's lives and how they make their lives work. I think that's so cool. I had never really understood why you did it, and that made a lot of sense. That made a lot of sense to me. I thought you just kind of like liked it.
I do. I love it. I like being creative. I like meeting new people. I like a little extra money, and I also like helping actors.
And you like throwing a party. You
Love
like a
throwing a
party.
party.
You love throwing a party, and you love throwing a cool party. You always like having a lot of there's always snow during the Christmas party.
Fog and the Halloween parties.
Yeah.
Photo booth always.
Always the photo booth.
Yeah.
You really go big. What is there something like? Did you grow up with people always being invited to your home? Like, was it a big party house? What is that? Or
no.
is it not? And you're making up for lost time?
I have a bad feeling that it's probably because when I was not cool, and nobody ever came to my birthday parties. So I think now that I'm older, and for some reason people find me a little cooler, I think I now enjoy it because people show up.
Wow.
As my
So you were a
guess.
nerd?
Oh, I was.
Where are you
yeah.
from?
I was originally from Arizona. Then I spent some time in Texas, which I was still kind of cool in Texas because I played sports. And then I moved back to
Was
Arizona.
that for school or something in Texas?
Yeah, the side leagues that you play outside. Because I was young. I think I moved away from Texas when I was 10.
Okay.
But I just made the All-Star baseball team right when we left.
Gotcha.
And then when I got back to Arizona in Scottsdale, I had like a Texas accent. I was sort of a nerd. And yeah, I did not have a lot
So
of
the
friends.
Texans accepted you, but the Arizonans weren't a fans.
I also think it's really hard to move at that age.
Oh, tell me about it.
So that's when it got tough, is I didn't have any friends at like the start of, I guess I would have been like 5th or 6th grade. So then making those friends, like people had already formed their little alliances and I didn't fit into it.
And then you what did you study in? Did you study in college? You go to college, right?
I did. I was a nerd. So I went to DeVry. I got my bachelor's in computer information systems, and then I got my master's in business. And I had such a bad time in high school that I actually started college when I was a junior, just so I could leave early. And then my senior year, I was barely even in high school. I was always in community college getting my credits done. So when I graduated my senior year from high school, I was already a sophomore in college, and then I did year round. So I graduated high school at 17, college at 19, and grad school at 21.
What?
Because I just had no friends. I mean, I had a couple friends, but I was just like,
you just had your studies and your naps.
Yeah,
That's all Brent had.
I was good at learning, and so I was good at school. So I was like, this is what I'm good at, and this is like the thing that makes me feel good. And so then I think that's why I became an actor, though, is because after I graduated from grad school, I had like this weird crisis where I was like, oh no, the thing that I was focusing so hard on is now gone. And I had a decent job as a computer programmer sitting in a cube. And I was like, oh, I'm wildly unhappy. And I was so lucky that my friend Harley J lived out here, right down the street from here, actually, was like, come sleep on my couch, try to be an actor. And I was like, I've always wanted to try to be an actor. And he was like, come do it. And so I moved out here, slept on his couch for 6 months, joined a bunch of acting classes, got a job at Blockbuster Video because I had never watched, I could maybe have named 5 actors.
Yeah.
Researched a bunch. And then I think after a year, maybe it was 6, I think it was 6 months, I was in the living room on a futon. After that, I was in the kitchen. They let me put a bed in there. And then I think it was after a year, I finally got my first bedroom.
Wow.
Which was like a weird adjustment because I owned a house in Arizona. That I just rented out, and I was like, all right.
You don't still own that house, do you?
I sold that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I got lucky. I sold it right after the crash, and somehow the people that were renting it from me paid what I asked for it.
Wow.
Because it wasn't for sale. So they just gave me good money, and it gave me a cushion.
You also kind of had like one of the most unheard of runs in booking, not only for theatrical, which you've definitely worked theatrically, to the point where you, I think, worked in a Lifetime movie and then decided, I could do this. I could write this and make my own, and made your own Lifetime movie that you starred in so that you could play with cool cars.
I don't want to make it sound like it's that easy because I don't want to offend somebody that like.
It's not that. No. That's not the case.
Yeah.
That's like the thing of like a plumber coming over and being like, I can fix this in 5 minutes.
Right.
And then being like, well, then why am I going to pay you all this money? And it's like, because I worked 20 years so that I could fix it in 5 minutes.
Sure.
You know, it's not
Yeah.
that it's easy to do. It's something that you had a whole life of being on set, working in projects, being in class, understanding structure, asking questions, being good at learning. And so knowing that, like, in order to make a movie, I must understand how these movies are made.
Right.
And then taking that initiative.
Yeah.
And,
I got
and
lucky
through the
that
connections you had made,
Yeah.
which afforded you the ability to know who to call for support and also who to call to get the movie made.
Yeah. And that was fortunate timing, which I tell everybody, another great saying that I'm going to butcher. It's like,
Yeah, get it wrong. Get it
success
wrong,
in here. It's like timing and luck meets like perseverance and something else. That's exactly what we're going to write it down. It's going to be on a bumper sticker. But it was like that kind of thing where I got pushed into being a writer by a producer that I was really fond of. I was already working on her movie. I lied and said that I had a movie ready for her to read. I did not.
Wow.
Which I've said this too many times, so she probably now knows this. But at least she was the inspiration. But I came home, wrote that movie, sent it to a couple friends. They helped me make it better. And then I pitched it back to her. She said it wasn't really for her because she was more on like the Netflix movies now, and I was still pitching very much like a Lifetime Hallmark movie. And so then I was doing a new movie with Jodie Sweetin called Craft Me a Romance, and I became really close with the producers on that. And they were like, we don't have anything for the summer. What are you doing? And I was like, I have a movie. And then they just bought it. But then Brian Herzlinger, who was the producer of that movie, totally guided me, helped me reshape it. I had to write it in a 9-act structure, which I didn't know what that was at the time.
I never heard that.
Never.
Until you mentioned it when I had you come into my class to teach your script. That you wrote.
Yes. Yeah. So I rewrote it, and I had such like wonderful guidance and support by friends and by people in the business that I was just very lucky that it all came together. And I am so aware of how lucky that was because I've even tried to replicate it again, and it's not as easy.
I think the phrase you were looking for before was luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, I think so. And there's
Maybe.
something about like timing.
Yeah, win. The win does that.
Yes.
WHEN.
Luck is, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Win.
Like you have this preparation, the opportunity shows up, and that's what like luck seems like. How'd this happen? Well, it happened because I did all this prep, and then I was ready for the opportunity when it came.
Exactly.
You make your own luck.
Yeah.
Which I
love
think
that.
is the biggest thing that like I've learned from watching you, how you navigate this career,
Yeah.
is that you're always preparing for that next thing.
Yeah, I'm always trying. I mean, again, it goes back to why I was a nerd. I love learning. So I always love learning how to do new things. And I'm always fascinated with like after you learn how to do something, how typically it is easier than you thought it was going to be. Like when I had to rekey all my locks at my house, I watched a YouTube video and I was like, oh, wow, this is shockingly easy.
Right.
Like you remove a little tumbler and then you just put like the right key, the right thing. Well, now it's really easy. Now you just push like a button and it rekeys.
Right.
But even before, like you buy a thing on Amazon for $7.99 and it comes with like you can rekey 100 locks, and it takes, even as somebody that didn't know what I was doing, I was like, it takes like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating.
It's pretty incredible. And would you say that of all, because you've been a spokesperson for multiple different products, you've been in countless commercials. Would you say that, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it's my perception, and you can't take that away from me, that Hot Santa was kind of one that pierced further than like the commercial world. Like it really feels like, I feel like there were like news stories about Hot Santa's back. And like, you remember Hot Santa from last year? Well, Hot Santa from Target's back again.
I like the ASMR.
We had to get in where to sound like Brent Bailey.
The Target one was, what's interesting is I think within my friend group and within people that knew me, Shell was a big one.
Yeah, because you're always seeing that.
And everybody would go take a selfie. So they would take a photo with me and then they'd tag it on social media. And so I saw that all the time and I loved it because I was like, this is so cool. And I felt like that was pretty huge. But Target was the first one that I think went like viral.
Well, because when you go to Shell, if I see the guy and I don't know Brent Bailey, that doesn't matter to me
Totally.
that there's a guy's face here at the gas station. If I know Brent Bailey, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to, but Target kind of created this persona with you as Hot Santa, and that's just like, that's different.
It was different. It was unexpected. I don't think they expected it. I definitely didn't expect it. And it was lovely, and it was so fortunate of like a happenstance of situations that caused it to be so big. And I'm so grateful that they brought me back for year 2, and hopefully they bring me back for year 3.
They have
But
to. You were even in the Spanish spots.
They have to.
My friend Adrian Gonzalez, who was
Yeah.
also on this podcast with me because I saw him in Esther Perel Ruined My Life. I also saw him again in Foursome.
Yeah.
He was in one of the Spanish spots with you, and I
When I'm
went,
dancing, I think.
yeah, and I went, ay Dios mío,
Yeah.
because I think you spoke Spanish in that spot too.
I do. Yeah, I speak Spanish in multiple spots.
That's so great.
Yeah. They're very kind with me with the Spanish because I'm not very good at it, but they have like an on-set coach, and they have a different scriptie that, like, you know, obviously speaks Spanish, and our director Wayne McClammy is fantastic and all this stuff, and he'll just be like, yeah, go do your thing, and I'll just be like, I'm so sorry, you're gonna have to tell me the last word you're going to say because I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what you're saying, so I'm just waiting to hear that.
Tell me the
keyword.
sounds
Yeah.
that are going to come out of your mouth at the end of you talking.
And then they're very gentle. They're like, all right, you're gonna say muy bien. I'm like,
Right.
perfect. I can say that.
I was in a McDonald's spot once that was just us eating burgers. There was no talking.
Oh, no.
But it was fine.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say they then gave you a copy that was full Spanish that you had to be like,
No. But it played in both markets, so I got paid for both the English speaking and the Spanish speaking markets.
yes, that's awesome.
I think it was the end of the year, so they were finishing out their budgets.
Yeah.
And so they had 9 different people eat the burger, and only one person actually made the commercial.
Were you with the one person?
No,
Oh,
no, of course not.
okay. That was a sad ending to that story.
No, I still got some money.
Yeah, you got the session fee,
I
so
just
that's
didn't get a
good.
ton of money, and I got a double session fee.
Oh, good.
But you know,
Yeah,
I
'cause
was
the English
well,
and
I was
Spanish.
well liked on set, and that brings me now to Death of a Salesman,
Oh, yeah.
which was at A Noise Within Theater that we went and saw. By the way, now during this part of the talking, we can still talk about your life.
Perfect.
But now we're in the context of the play.
show. Yeah.
So I want to tell you a little bit about A Noise Within Theater. I talked to already on here because I went and saw Richard III there recently, which was fantastic. But just so you know, because I think it's pretty interesting, and also it ties into the lead actor and director of the show, is that the theater was founded in 1991 by the current co-artistic directors, George Eliot and Julia Rodriguez Elliott. You would know them because George Eliot was our Willy Loman, and Julia Rodriguez Elliott was the director of that show.
Wow.
And they're both the artistic directors and founders of that theater. Pretty cool, right?
That's super
Talk
cool.
about making your own luck.
Holy crap.
And then the current space we saw open in 2012, it's got 324 seats. I thought this was pretty cool. The space is designed so that no audience member is further than 35 feet from the stage.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, no matter what, you have an intimate connection
Yeah,
with
there's
the actors
no
on
bad
stage.
seat in the house.
There really isn't, because it's a thrust stage. And they're really playing it out to all the different angles.
Yeah.
Do you see much straight theater? Like, I feel like when you were talking to me about the shows that you have seen, they've all been musicals.
So this is, again, the only time I really go see theater is when my friend Harley J was in theater, because he was just like, you know, supporting friends.
Yeah.
So I typically have only seen shows or plays that are when somebody that I know is in them. So there's been a couple, like, you know, one man plays or one woman plays. He did a lot of musical theater, so I saw a lot of musical theater. Like plays like you and I saw, I honestly maybe have seen like one or two other ever.
Yeah.
And again, and my friend, you know, Bo was in a play, so I went and saw her. That was a straight play. So no, very little experience, which was, I mean, I'm sure we'll get into like the whole experience of that show, but
Talk about it.
at the beginning, I was just like, oh, this is a talk.
There's a talk.
And I mean, they just talk.
A talk, blah, blah.
And the actor in me first had to adjust to like just thinking about, oh my gosh, how did you guys memorize all these lines? To like, how is this all working out? And, you know, are you messing up a line? Are you not messing up a line? Like, I was like very much actory watching it. And then they're so talented, especially the main guy, that it
George Eliot, who played Willy Loman.
just sucks you in.
His voice
His
is
range,
really spectacular. Yeah.
unreal. And yeah, everything about his performance like erased all the actor thoughts and erased like the, you know, the fact that you're just kind of like watching this show in front of 300 people. Is that what you said?
324, yeah.
300, yeah. And he like, it was phenomenal. And the woman that played his wife, yeah, they're all just
You're
so
talking about
good.
Deborah Strang.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I wrote Dobra Strang,
Uh-oh.
But let's just make sure that her name's not actually Dabra. And there we go. It is Deborah.
It's Deborah.
I don't know if we should cut that or keep it.
Well, listen, now that you've kept it, everybody's going to really know. Her name's Deborah.
Her name is Deborah.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not Dabra.
Nobody's name's Deborah.
So Arthur Miller has written a lot of incredible plays. His first big one that blew up was All My Sons. There actually was a production of that also out here in LA that my good friend Aaron Pineda was in that I missed, unfortunately. But he had a string of very famous American plays, and they were about very American stories. And this is one that he had been thinking about for years. And then when he actually got down to writing it, it took him 6 weeks to write.
Wow.
And then it won the Pulitzer Prize and the Tony for Best Play, and then like New York Critics
I mean, it
Award
makes
as
sense.
well.
It's so relatable and so like poignant. I think we talked about that at the show, that even though he wrote it was in the 40s, right?
Yeah,
You're like, it's still
1948.
just as relevant today, if not more so,
Hugely relevant.
which is so weird.
I mean, it's a little weird, but also like having seen Richard III and also having watched Susie Eddie Izzard do a solo show of Hamlet and see that like, God, that's still relevant.
I know.
It's just the human condition.
Yeah.
That's why I love theater. That like no matter when this play was written, I'm watching it and I'm starting to think, gosh, that's me right now. That was a lesson I needed to learn and hear in this moment.
right.
And it's pretty crazy. Just a little bit of the history on the play of A Death of a Salesman was that it was his uncle, Manny Newman, was a traveling salesman that he based the role of Willie Loman on. And this is a man that was constantly chasing success and deeply competitive with his sons, pressured them to succeed, compared them to each other constantly, which is rough.
Yeah.
And he was so obsessed with being well liked. And that was the thing that really hit me because, like you were talking about, I moved around so much growing up as a kid that I was constantly being put into new schools and new environments. I'm going to figure out how am I going to survive here. And I was so obsessed with being well liked.
Right.
And I didn't focus that into getting good grades. I focused it on getting them to like me.
I tried that for a while. It just didn't work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it was like, God, like it's a really tough mindset to break out of. And I half agree with Arthur Miller and half don't agree. Like he really puts out in this, if you take the lesson from it, that the kid who worked hard and did his studies got to be successful and then went to argue a case in the Supreme Court, and the kid who didn't, and him who didn't basically was left with no retirement and unable to pay his bills and begging for money.
Right.
Because he was just trying to be liked by people. I think there's a middle ground.
They seem like extremes on both ends.
They seem a bit extreme.
Yeah. I actually wondered in that scene if that kid was actually going off to the Supreme Court, or if they were just kind of
They were lying to him?
exaggerating a bit.
No, I don't think so, because I think the whole thing was that he didn't say it. You know why I know it wasn't? Because he would have said, Dad, come on, stop.
Didn't he leave after that? I think the kid had already left.
No, because the dad,
Oh, that's right.
Charlie, who played the father and was the guy who's like, yeah, he's going to do this. Like, Dad, come on, don't talk about that.
That's right.
He didn't go, Dad, what are you talking about?
Right. I'm not doing that.
That's not. Yeah, Bernard would have immediately gone, Dad, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And also, why are they going to, and like, he's trying to give Willie Loman a job. We're totally out of sequence right now. He's trying to give Willie, we're like, okay, how about like near the end of the play, like 3/4 into Act 2, we talk about that scene first.
That was a great scene, though, because
That was a really good scene.
I wanted to be like, take the job. Take
I
the
know,
job.
seriously. Like, also a big story about pride and ego getting in the way of your own personal success.
When again, we're way out of order, but I didn't really understand. He's like, I can't work for you. And I didn't understand why.
Yeah.
And is that explained somewhere, or is that just your own personal reflection of why? Like, what, I don't know what their relationship was well enough to understand why he couldn't take that job.
Yeah, I think that I think I have it written here somewhere. So why don't we come back to it as I find my way there, rather than trying to search it right now?
Yeah. Well, let's come back to it. But my guess before you,
yes, please give me the guess. Let's talk about it.
He said, "You're my only friend."
Yes,
and I think he was maybe worried that if he worked for him, it would ruin their friendship. But I could be very wrong, and by your little noise, I'm very wrong.
No, I think that the friendship does have something to do with it. I think there's the friendship and we're talking about Arthur Miller writing this about his uncle who was hyper competitive and made his sons hyper competitive, and he feels hyper competitive and thoughtful on like, I know how life works.
Right.
and life works this way. And here's Charlie, who is my only friend, who I also despise. And he has his way of thinking life works, and it's working out for him. And if I actually accept the job, I accept that I don't know how life works. And I accept that I've been a bad father, and I accept that I've failed myself, my family, and my sons.
Yeah, that's a much more deep thing.
I think that might be the thread that he's unable to make that jump because it challenges his entire understanding of who he is.
Right. Ooh, yeah, that's brutal. That's a tough place.
But that's the thing too about becoming so calcified in any idea.
Yeah.
Losing plasticity or flexibility in concept of self, concept of work, concept of career, to get so dogged or hyper-focused that you're unable to witness new opportunities or accept that like this deviation may be actually the perfect direction to go. And surprisingly, sometimes I've seen in lives people take those deviations and it leads them. A person who I just had on here, Daniel David Stewart, who I went and saw Richard III with, he moved to LA because he wanted to be on Broadway. Because he knew that like when he was in school, Daniel Radcliffe was going on to Broadway. And he's like, oh, I see. People are TV and movie stars. And that's who gets to do Broadway shows. He came to LA, did a revival of Spring Awakening in Skid Row. And him and 23 other people in that show got their Broadway debuts. So he came out here, did a little black box theater, and that's what got him to Broadway. So like, you never know.
That's
if you get so dogged, you're like, I can only do film and TV. I can only do film and TV. He would have missed that opportunity.
Totally.
You know, so I think that's the part of the story that I want to take away.
Yeah, I love that. That's good.
You know, not that being well liked is wrong.
That's definitely not it.
And that's not because I'm calcified in my idea of who I am. Can I say calcified more, you think?
I think a couple times. Yeah.
So, by the way, the story of this is a fading salesman clings to his illusion of success, and that's his reality, and also to his family, and that all begins to collapse around him. Which there's some pretty interesting things I want to talk about, but before we get to that, one of the things I actually want to talk about, what I thought was so interesting, and we're going to get into the cast and a lot of specifics and all that, but I think in like the overarching was Miller was trying to like, I think the thing that took him years was to figure out how to tell the story. And the thing he realized was that memory could exist on stage at the same time as the present. And that was actually kind of like a radical idea at the time, that you could have those things happening in parallel.
Right.
That he could go into these memories. And while the memories were happening, it was, I don't know what your experience of it was, but in the same way that you were like, I don't know if I believe that Bernard is actually going to argue this case in front of the Supreme Court, I was sitting there watching these memories and being like, do I trust this narrator?
Oh.
Because I'm watching Willie relive these memories.
Right. And is that really what happened? Or is
This
this what he's...
cheery, perfect background where the sons love to fix things and go, hey, kids, we're going to go sweep the furnace room. I love doing things for my daddy.
Right.
Or has he rewritten his own history
Right.
in order to justify his actions?
I mean, could be a combination of the two.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I thought that so much watching it. It was like, it was so rose-colored glasses. It was so rosy and perfect.
Yeah, that it almost seems unrealistic.
Especially when you see the moment that everything breaks apart, the memory he's refusing to revisit.
Right.
Where
Yes.
he's with the woman on a sales
Spoiler
trip.
alert.
And,
I mean, this came out in 1940.
1949. Yeah, what's the statute of limitations on Death of the Salesman?
I mean, that they really were very, happy memories that all of a sudden get shattered on that one.
Yeah, which I think is crazy for 1949 because you have a show that's dealing with realism, the kitchen sink family drama, as
Right.
well as expressionism, the inner thoughts and the memory world. And so I think that's why it was really kind of like it's now you see it all the time. It's a device that's used in a lot of ways in magic realism, all these different styles. You don't know about it because you don't watch theater, but there's a lot. There's a lot of it's just twist.
I will say, for a person that doesn't
ahead.
watch very much theater, they did that so spectacularly in this play to show. The first time I didn't quite understand it because I think was the very, very first flashback with the woman on the bed.
I think so.
And then
yeah.
he goes in and I was like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah.
that's not your wife. which then eventually, because I actually thought that she was a flashback of her younger self. And I was like, oh, they used to be like, hot and heavy in the bedroom, and maybe things have simmered down a little bit. And then I realized he was having the affair. But I was like, oh, this is a really interesting way of showing flashbacks when you have just this small stage that is like limited props and limited things that you can actually do. But once I understood what was happening, I thought it was all done so well that it was like, oh, I see what's happening. We've just gone into a flashback. I even loved how he would like walk off stage and then like just go somewhere.
Yeah.
And then they would kind of yell out to him. It was all done so well that it kept you so engaged and so curious of what was going to happen next.
And it was also, gosh, there was like these echoes that would keep happening in the flashbacks, like the echo from, so he has these two sons, right? Biff and Happy, who are played by Ian Littleworth, and Biff played by David Hepner, both excellently. I loved meeting them. Also, one thing I wanted to talk about, this is so like little like theater magic things that I love and hate. So they have these fake cigarettes.
Yes, I saw those. I was curious about them the whole time.
They're vapes.
That's what I figured.
And I love them and I hate them. I hate them because of what you just said. You were focused on them.
Yes.
I was focused on them too. I love them because we're not actually lighting a cigarette. This like even like the fake cigarettes, they just have such a like sick, disgusting scent. And you can just hear even like some audience members get taken out when you light a fake cigarette because they just go, oh, not that smell again. Because people who go to theater, they're used to that fucking terrible smell. But what I didn't like about these was that then when you like put them into the ashtray or the can, you hear the clink of like hard metal to hard metal.
Right.
And I'm just constantly thinking like, okay, how are they going to make the lighter work? How are they going to make that work? Like I'm taken out.
I thought at the beginning, I used to have like, when I was a kid and I thought smoking was cool. I had the bubble gum ones where they had like powdered sugar or something. So and then you'd blow out powdered sugar. And I thought that's what it was at the beginning. But then later you could see that they were the vapes because it even had like the cherry on the end. Yeah. And then I agree it was completely distracting.
It's very distracting. I just think, for my money, go herbal. Do the herbal cigarettes. They did it in Richard.
Interesting.
They did it in Richard III. Ann Noble was walking around smoking an herbal cigarette as Richard. And I thought it was fucking, and as much as you said you used to think that cigarettes were cool.
Do you still think they're cool?
No, I don't know that I think they're cool, but Ann Noble made it look cool.
Yeah.
Nothing about those vapes looked cool.
No, you can't make a vape look cool.
But I understand also like people don't want to do it or whatever. I wish.
Oh, sure. I'm sure it's much healthier to do the vape. But that being said, I don't really know what's in that vape.
What's in the vape?
Yeah, what's in the vape?
Water vape. What's in the vape? I was thinking like in this play in 1949, they're just smoking real cigarettes on stage.
I know.
And the whole audience is probably. Do you think that there were chairs with ashtrays at theaters?
I would hit the guess so. I mean,
are people lighting up cigarettes while watching a play on Broadway in 1949?
People used to light up cigarettes in the airplane. Like in an airplane, and there was little.
I was on an
ashtrays.
airplane, 2025. That I still had the ashtray things in it, and I thought
this is concerning.
This needs to be decommissioned.
This should be out of the sky.
What are we doing?
Wow.
So those two, they were played so well, but then when they went into the flashbacks, by the way, they played such a great job of playing their like mid-20s selves and then their younger 18, 17, whatever, 14-year-old selves. And then whenever Happy would say, hey, Dad, I lost weight. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
And that phrase that just kept getting repeated was actually pretty heartbreaking and a little triggering. Because, I mean, like, I do remember being a little, how would I forget? I was a little chubby kid, like, for most of middle school and high school.
Okay.
To the point where, like, one of my best friends from middle school, over the summer, we didn't see see each other that much. And then the next year, I'm on the tennis team, and I see him playing soccer, and I go, hey, Brandon. And he went, shut up, fat ass. And I went, oh. And then I saw that all of the skinny kids are booking the leads in the plays. This is my junior year of high school. And I thought, oh, you know what? I get it. You got to be in shape to book a play. So did the Atkins diet, lost 40 pounds, and booked the lead in a play. And that has messed up my brain forever. Because it's like, in order to do these things, I must be this. In order to be accepted or loved, I must be this. And you could just see that from Happy. That like, in order for me to be loved by my dad, I have to be like my brother. And he loves my brother because he's in shape, and I'm not in shape like he is. So I need to like prove. It just showed that competition between the sons. And also the fact, Dad never responded to him.
Ever. And he would also say, I'm getting married, right?
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that one because the other brother wasn't married either. But I would just meant like, I'm doing the things. And yeah, it was really sad.
I am looking for approval And Dad never responded.
Yeah.
Because he's so hyper-focused on his own shit.
Yeah. And I think, obviously he gets caught by his son doing that thing who used to look up and idolize him. And now he's just like angry and trying to repair that relationship. So I don't think there was even any room for the other brother, which is so sad.
I know. And the other brother's working and like very successful at what he's doing, but also filling his life with all like I think it's so dense with humanity.
Yeah.
This play. And I thought everyone in the cast did such, and I love that the direction of this was so focused on like, strip it down, strip it clean. I just want to see the actors.
Which really, I mean, there was not much else other than the actors on the stage.
Couple tables, a fridge, a bunk bed.
Yep. And then the queen bed that they
roll on and off.
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And other than that, it's just like a bare stage. And there's a moment where Willie Loman gets up on a chair, and you can tell, you can feel everyone in the, because he's like losing it at that moment.
I was so worried he was going to fall.
Everyone in the audience. But that's so smart.
Yeah.
The tension that builds in all of us.
Yeah, even when he was out, like, plowing the yard to plant the seeds, I was like, oh, what's going to happen? Something bad's going to happen.
And I think what I like about this too is like, and in one thing that Arthur Miller, like his shows are so hyper focused on like the nuclear family, on like not like the hyper rich or it's like the common man.
Right.
And he said in this essay, Tragedy and the Common Man, so the common man is as apt a subject for tragedy as kings were. And I think that that's just something that we can really sink our teeth into and connect with.
Yeah, I think it's more relatable to a much larger group of people, obviously.
Yeah.
Which makes more sense.
Yeah. Where I think like there's this perfect balance in your life where like you work hard, you play hard, but then you also keep yourself busy by like improving the world that you have around you by like putting new flooring in and exposing the beams in your home, making a Dutch door. Who needs a Dutch door? Brent Bailey does. Willie Loman lives in this dichotomy of like he built his house. Mm-hmm. He like built his house from the ground up. He has the ability to.
Right.
He like really idolizes a man who can use tools and yet doesn't want Biff to go and work on a farm.
Yeah, and I mean, there's again, like I think you're pointing out more layers than I even saw when I first watched it. I think this is. Have you seen it more than once?
No, I read it in school, and I may have done a scene from it for something, but I've never seen the actual production of it.
Okay, because I remember there was like he talks about building the home, and then he looks around, and it's like now engulfed in like cityscape. So he's like, we used to be able to see over there. Now it's like building, and it was fascinating just to watch that part of it. I don't know that I even picked up that he didn't want his son to go off and do the farming.
Well, I thought because he just thought like Biff's wasting his life.
Yeah.
Doesn't even talk to his son.
Yeah.
Doesn't even converse with him. And then when Biff has this idea of like, well, I'm going to go ask for money to start this business, or we're going to do like sporting goods.
Right.
And he's like, that's an idea. Then he gets finally excited for his sons because they're doing what he wants them to do.
Right.
There's this book, The Prophet by Khalil Gibran, and it talks about it's like this prophet, and they keep asking questions. What about poverty? What about marriage? What about having children? And it's like on children, it talks about you are not your children. You are the archer, and the child is the bow, and the child is the arrow, and you pull the bow back and release the child. Like you are not them.
Right.
But I think he is so much like I am living for. It's such like a toxic masculinity is such a huge theme.
Right.
Within this, from the way that Happy treats women to the way that Biff, to the way that Willie treats his wife. Mm-hmm. Like it's played for jokes, but then it gets kind of gross.
I know.
Where he keeps going, "Leave me alone. Shut up. Stop interrupting me. Get out of here." To his wife, and it's like, oh.
I did think that was a sign of the times. Again, still pertinent today, but I feel like even more so back then. There was like very little respect for the women, and they made it very clear in that play.
Yeah.
Which I was like, ooh.
But I think that's also like Arthur Miller being like, yeah, I don't think he was playing it for jokes.
Right.
I don't think Arthur Miller was like, women, right? I think he was like, no, this guy's like a problem.
Yeah.
Willie Loman is his own worst enemy.
Yep.
He's got all these people that want to support him and love him, and yet he cannot see it.
Right.
But they would talk about time like, oh, there's never a concrete block that Willie Loman wouldn't love, like, or like pouring cement. There's some line like that. So like they sprinkle in bits and pieces around it about how much he loves that, how much he's built this place, and it really made me think of you.
Thanks.
But you're like the
minus the
non-toxic.
hating women.
Yeah. You're the non-toxic Willie. I've always thought of you as the non-toxic Willie Loman.
I like it.
Just to talk about some of the actors. Yeah, Willie Loman, Jeff Elliott.
Oh, so good.
Wow.
Yeah, unreal.
Is really all I can say about his performance.
Mm-hmm.
The weight that he carries as Willie throughout the whole thing. And I thought also that he found this like warmth and jovial nature. So like as much as this guy is kind of like our protagonist is a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And yet he's so hopeful and he's so like excitable and he is a nice guy.
Yeah.
He just makes terrible choices.
Right.
I thought he was wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, he stole the show, obviously.
No, you can't steal it if it's your show.
Exactly. He made sure everybody knew this is why he got that role.
He didn't let anybody steal that show from him.
I mean, I think you said earlier, just the way like his cadence and like the way that he delivered lines was also done in like such an interesting way that it was like a little bit like a musical. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, I don't know how you came up with all this. It was fantastic.
Yeah. And not Dabra,
Not
but
Dabra.
Deborah Strang, who played Linda Lohman, like I thought her arc was unreal.
Yeah.
Just being this like very happy, joyful, also like knowing her husband and aware that she can't push too hard in any direction because she doesn't want to set him off. Mm-hmm. And then seeing her gain power more and more throughout the show.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Was really excellent.
They all, I mean, not to go back to, the main guy, but like the second the lights came up and you could see he like, without saying a word, you could see the weight on his shoulders, the way he like took the first step down. I was like, this guy's so good and he hasn't even talked yet.
Yes.
And then when she came on, she just had like this energy, all of them, even the two kids are in the bunk bed at the beginning. And you were just like, oh, I can't wait to see like what they're going to say. And then they have this all their accents were so good.
Yeah.
Like they all did like such good small things that again have to be bigger to translate to, because that was one of the weird things I've also found with theaters, like that they're so far away that you can't really see their eyes, whereas on TV and film you say so much with your eyes,
right? And
I felt like they all did such a good job of showing exactly what they were feeling, where I couldn't even really see exactly in there, like the eyeball.
Yeah.
And they did it so well that it didn't seem like overdone, but it was so specific.
Also, I looked up the guy who played Bernard, which you can kind of see it anyway, even through his costume. He's like a buff dude.
Really?
Yeah, Casey Mahaffey. Let me make sure I got that name right, because now I can't trust my typing at all. What if it's like McCafferty and all I got was half the letters?
Skipped a few.
And what if I'm even saying it right? Probably not. I got it right. How would you say that name? Right here.
Casey Mahaffey.
Casey Mahaffey. Casey Mahaffey is a very attractive man.
Yeah, that's a good looking beard.
Let me just say, he put some glasses on to make himself a little nerdy, but that is a good looking dude.
Yeah.
And the thing you're talking about too with film and TV is like in film and TV, we're so up close that you are what you are.
Right.
We can see it. There's no room for you to try to like put a costume on. Like very few actors are actually doing very different characters every time they're in a new movie.
Right.
Most of the time we're playing who we are because like I'm already projecting so much based on like your essence and your look. Mm-hmm. But Casey Mahaffey, a very like strapping young man, comes out there and like, yeah, that's a nerd. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he was great. I think he got like one of the first really big laughs.
Yeah.
When he came down, and I forget what exactly he said, but he came down and was he talking about the math homework?
He's like, Bitch, you gotta do your homework.
Yeah.
Mr. Loman, he's not doing his homework.
Honestly, it's tough to even recognize him from that photo as the character.
Because he's strapped. Look up Casey Mahaffey. That is a strapping man. But we didn't know that.
No, he was a total
I was
nerd.
when I looked him up, I'm like, this can't be the guy.
You're like, no, there's a glitch.
But that's what I love about theater. Like we can all be character actors in theater. You get to it's so much fun. I want you to do a play, Brent. Have you done a play?
I've never done one, and I will say after watching that play, I was more intimidated than prior because I just thought they did so exceptional that I was like, ooh, I don't think I can do that well.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun challenge. But yeah, I mean, that looks like, again, like what you and I have now, like 20 years of perfection that like has built them to this level. And I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna just butcher this.
No, you'd be great. Now, I will say I'm worried about your voice over, like, if you had to do a long run.
I think my voice would be gone.
Just because you don't have the training for, like, where to place it.
Don't
and
know
all
how to
that.
use this thing.
No, you just, but nobody can use it like you, though. Know what I mean? Like,
I get
this
you.
is like a place where you're going to really tear it up. If you just
Yeah.
leave it here the whole time, you're
Just get
fucked.
real close. Real close to this microphone.
Here's the thing. I'm going to need all the audience to come up close.
This is my new TV and film.
I do want to do a play with you. I think it'd be really fun.
Yeah, I would be open to it. I'd be curious to know what play would make the most sense because I can't sing, I can't dance.
There's a lot of plays. You don't got to worry about that. There's a
Yeah.
lot of actors can't sing and dance.
I feel like most of them can.
Some can. I mean, look. A lot of it's like, "Hi, I'm an actor who moves." You know, which is like
They move well.
They move well, but they
Yeah.
don't dance.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Fair.
I'm an actor who moves, and like you give me some choreography, I'll move through it.
Yeah,
I'm not a dancer.
not a dancer. I mean, I'm definitely not a dancer.
I'm a guy who can hold a tune, not a singer.
I can barely hold a tune.
We're still gonna do it. Not gonna be musical. Don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
I also thought the man who played Charlie felt like he stepped out of I Love Lucy. Like it felt like he lived. He was like of the time.
Sure.
He was perfectly 1940s, 1950s wacky neighbor.
Yes. I could see that. I mean, yeah. Let me see this thing. I'm just fascinated because everybody looks so different.
Yeah, because they're modern there.
Yeah, like the guy that plays Biff, David Kepner.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look like the same human being.
No.
I love it. His hair looks great. What a good mustache. That's amazing.
This is the kind of in-depth review you can get from Brent
Yep.
Bailey.
Great mustache.
Like
wow.
his hair, like the mustache.
A
Also,
plus.
let me just talk about all his hair. Chest hair, nice. And Uncle Ben, played by David Neville. Almost felt like he was always on safari.
1000%.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like they added the reverb and the echo a lot on him.
Totally.
But he got a great laugh. Oh, he was like on his way out and he like said something about money or there was something about success, and everybody, like his whole persona did seem like otherworldly, which I guess makes sense. But do you think even those memories and those flashbacks were all real?
I don't trust any memory.
I don't either.
I think that's the whole aspect of the hyper realism. When what we're seeing in real time is real, and then but when we're seeing that the person through which we are witnessing these memories is having a mental break right in front of us as he's falling apart, it is hard to trust anything that comes from his perspective.
Yeah.
You know, so then as we go into the memories, I'm like, was he actually dressed like he just stole some ivory? Like, was he always just kind of like just out of the jungle?
Yeah.
Maybe.
He reminded me a little bit of like the KFC, the Colonel.
Sure, Colonel, yeah. Colonel Sanders, or the guy from Jumanji that's hunting them down.
Yes.
You know, with the
100%.
rifle and the big safari hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was, and also when you look at his picture, you're like, that's Uncle Ben?
I mean, Uncle Ben mostly, wow.
Yeah, because he's like
He mostly had a hat on though, right?
He had a hat. He had a
Yeah.
little mustache, which he must have loved. He had glasses and a briefcase. He was always very,
Very different man.
yeah. But I thought he was otherworldly.
He was so good. Every time he came on, he had so much presence. And again, and this is something obviously you learn in theater. All of them were so good with their voices
Oh yeah, you have to be.
that it was just amazing.
Sometimes you can hear like almost like the voice comes all the way from the toes, like it almost comes from the earth through the body and out. You know, I think what you do a little bit is you squeeze the voice right here. It's a lot of like, this is what makes the
It
voice.
lives right in the throat.
Yeah,
Right
you're almost
around
like
it.
pushing it through there, right? Where
Yeah.
they're bringing it like, the voice is actually like almost a bagpipe.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm
cool.
pushing the air through. You know,
Yep, wouldn't know anything about that.
it's okay. Look, I talked a little bit about some of my acting classes. We did weird stuff, man.
Yeah?
Weird stuff. Try to release the body to allow it to come through without tension.
Okay.
And I thought Ben's line, "Never fight fair with a stranger, boy. You'll never get out of the jungle that way." It felt like the opposite viewpoint of what Willy Loman has, which is be nice and you can make it ahead in this world.
Right.
And this one felt more like this is Arthur Miller's judgment on capitalism, which was like, if you fight fair, you lose.
Totally.
So you've got to be cutthroat.
Yep. Which is so sad and such a depressing thing, but so real.
So real. And again, something where I think it's extremes, where you can live in you can have integrity and still get ahead. And you can be liked and still get ahead. And it sucks when you see those that don't and do get ahead and it feels bad.
Right.
Cassandra Marie Murphy, who played the woman.
Which character was she?
The woman.
The one in the bed.
Yes.
She was so good.
There was moments that it was like
Her
she
laugh.
was a nightmare laugh.
Yes.
She really, when you talk about somebody who like stole, I feel like she stole every scene she was in.
I totally agree.
She was electric.
Yeah,
in
even
that
when
way.
like the lights weren't on her, she was still doing things on the bed.
Always alive.
That made it. We were like, what is happening over there? What are you doing?
When you're trying to talk to somebody, but you're thinking about a fault or something terrible that you've done in your past, and I'm trying not to think about it, but it keeps just like knocking at the back of my head.
Yeah, that's how it
what
felt.
that felt like.
100%.
I think the show is very good. I think it's worth seeing. I think it affected me a lot. So much of it spoke to me in a real way. Did you feel like it's something that you would recommend people go see or not?
Absolutely. Yeah. Especially, I think at this particular venue, it was so good. I liked the venue. I mean, by the end of it, you could just hear people sobbing. Like it affected everybody.
In a huge way.
Yeah.
If I could just matrix all the lines into your head,
Biff.
that's who you would play?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it'd be a Biff.
Why would you play Biff?
You know what's funny is I feel like there was so much of what he was going through that I would say I like resonated with, but my dad is nothing like that. My parents are nothing but supportive and wonderful. But I just really found that his role would be an incredible acting challenge.
Yeah.
Even his like breakdown scene with his dad, I was like, oh gosh, this is intense. Like it would just be such a fun thing to explore. And I guess like, is that masochistic or is that the right word for that?
Yeah.
Where like it would just be fun to explore like something I'm not familiar with because I am so fortunate to have wonderful parents. But I feel like his journey, even when he caught his dad in the bedroom, like there were so many moments that he got to have such range that I think would be incredible.
Happy and Biff, they had such wonderful chemistry together.
They did.
I really believed these two as these brothers. And as much as like Arthur Miller was writing this about two kids who are in competition, I think it's interesting that they don't ever really seem in competition with each other.
No, not at all.
More, Happy's just like, hey man, why are you doing this?
Right.
You can be out here. We can take care of this. He's actually trying to be like shepherd his older brother in a way.
He is. And I think you got to give a big shout out, especially to that theater for like the technical aspects of it. The lighting was incredible. The changes were great. The sounds just in the actual theater itself are so good. And whoever was controlling like the reverb and doing everything, like it created the entire experience that I don't think you would have if you took that away, that would change the entire play.
Totally. A lot of times you'll see the person who's running the soundboard operator will be in the house because they'd like to hear in live time how things are sounding. So he's balancing mics. He's also dealing with everyone's mic'd in this. And so he's dealing with, let's say you and I have a scene and then I get really close to you. He's probably adjusting who's talking when so that your mic isn't now picking up my voice.
Oh my gosh.
So that I'm dealing with like your levels for my voice doesn't match what your levels are for your own voice. You know what I mean? And he was right over our left shoulder.
Yes.
And he was a very good looking man.
You just love to point out the good-looking people.
No, only because he was a distractingly good-looking man.
It is a long play. So at the end, I was like, and it's honestly, it wasn't even that it was long. It's so well written and so like engaging in all of your emotions that I think by the end I was exhausted.
Yeah,
Because it was like such a journey.
because you do go on that journey with them.
Yeah. And especially the way it ends, which I don't know if you spoil those things or not, but the way that the buildings,
Yeah, totally. I thought that was very, very cool and definitely worth seeing. The scenic design.
it's almost like how you feel after watching like an episode of Euphoria where you're like, oh, good.
Yeah, it's so gut punching,
Yeah.
but it's also because it's so relevant.
I know.
Like if it didn't actually align to things I worry about in my own life or things I experience in my own life, then I wouldn't be as exhausted at the end.
Right. Yeah, I feel like it's a good sign that you're exhausted because it means like you bought into the whole journey and you like rode the roller coaster
Right.
with them.
If at the end you're like, nah, I don't know, I think Willie had it right.
Maybe missed the plot. But yeah, I mean, you have to ask yourself some different questions if you walk out being like, I don't get it. He was right. Yeah.
Also, could the wife stop interrupting him, please? Could you imagine if you came on
Oh my
to do
gosh.
this and you're like, can we just talk about that wife interrupting him so much?
Why didn't they cut her lines?
Can we just like get her out of there?
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Brent Bailey, we already talked about going to see you at Artist Footprint, but is there anything you want to promote right now or any way that people should like follow you to see what's going on in your world?
I'm so bad at this part of the business. I say that. Maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am, but I pretty much just do Instagram and I really only post when like, I mean, you probably are the last reposter that I did for going to this show.
Yeah.
That might be a lie. I think I did post about the floors.
You did post about the
I
force.
did, but I really
You usually post when you have a big update in your house.
yeah, I'm either projects or like house projects or like movie and film projects
Or being out in Big Bear.
or being in Big Bear
Or mammoth.
snowboarding.
You like to post about being a mammoth.
I feel like when
Motorcycle
I'm just at home-
trips,
So
snowboarding
apparently
trips.
I post all the time. So if you want to follow
I kind
me,
of do know what's happening in your life. So if you want to know what's
Yeah.
happening in Brent Bailey's life, go follow him at Brent Bailey.
Brent M. Bailey.
Go follow him at Brent M. Bailey or the one-legged artist footprint.
I'm gonna change the logo and everything for that now.
Just one
Yeah.
leg.
Yeah. And the only thing I have coming out next is a really cool like horror film called Dead of Night,
Oh, cool.
which should be fun. I don't know the date yet because they haven't told me. And then I'm off to go shoot a couple things. So,
Well, Brent Bailey, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you. I didn't realize that you're only 19 minutes away. Oh my gosh, I almost didn't talk about it. I
thought we were gonna get
I
out of it.
almost didn't talk about it. Before we go, and this is definitely the social clip. Brent, oh my God, I can't believe I almost let you get away with this. I had a huge discovery about Brent Bailey at the theater, which is that Brent Bailey does not use any kind of calendar. Brent, what do you do?
listen, it's very effective.
No, just tell me. Don't you dare try to explain it until you tell us what it is.
I have an iPhone, like most do, and I use the notepad. And when I make a plan, I write in my notepad that's an ongoing list, and it has some helpful things in there too, like passwords I don't want to forget, notes to myself. But there's a little section that is events. And so I'll write down like, okay, today is the 1st, and at 7 p.m. I have an interview with Ryan. So it will literally say like, 4-1 now, 7 p.m. Ryan podcast. And then like, headshots tomorrow, 3 p.m. this guy, 1 p.m. this guy. And I'll put them in date. And as they happen, like once we finish, I will then erase that line off the note and it will continue. It's just an ongoing note.
I tell you, I didn't think this was going to upset me more as you explain it to me. But the fact that it's not even a dedicated note
It's
for a
not dedicated.
calendar, it's a note that just happens to have passwords and a little
Yeah.
quote that I need to remember. Like you can have a different note for there's actually an app for password managing. But instead of using a calendar, you use one singular note that you just add and delete from. It's the most, yours is such a smart, organized guy, and it upsets me for no reason.
I know.
Because it's not my business. But you're so wrong in the way that you're taking advantage of the technology you have available to you.
Ashley also hates this. So she's going to love this part.
Yeah, I'm clipping this for you, Ashley. Brent, your girlfriend. I'm doing this for her. No naps.
Yeah.
I agree.
Uh-huh.
And the calendar app.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say it's because of the Notes app, but you didn't show up on time today, did you?
That was my fault.
And I had to text you 5 minutes after saying, what's your ETA? And you went, oh no, I'm on my way now.
Yeah, today was one of those rare days where there were catastrophes, but unacceptable.
What's great about a calendar is you can put reminders in there and it will beep you like 30 minutes before. Do you want to get on the road?
Oh, wow.
And then because you put the address into the calendar event and then it attaches to your maps, you get in your car, CarPlay's already like, is this where you're going? Because I
Right.
reminded you before, it makes your life easier. Anyway, the reason I thought about it is I was like, oh my gosh, it only took you 19 minutes to get here.
Yes.
We live so much closer, depending on the time of day, than we even realize. If we timed our life out a little bit better, we could spend more time together.
I know. Isn't that
Because
crazy?
it feels like we're an hour away from each other.
It normally
but
is.
it is at a certain time of day.
I also think it's an anomaly because it's Easter weekend. I think people have left.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah, because I think we get Friday off. I think most people are starting early.
Okay.
Because the traffic was shockingly light.
Holiday weekends is
Yeah.
where we'll find our
That's where we're
friendship. Anyway, Brent Bailey, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for
to go
having
see
me.
Death of a Salesman and Noise Within Theater, running through April 19th. Make sure you go and see it. And as always, thanks for listening to the end. Let me know any shows you want me to see, guests you want me to have on, or any segments you want in the podcast. And please, I'm going to put this at the beginning from now on, but for now, it's staying here. I've never said it before. Subscribe, rate, review, especially on Apple Podcasts. And definitely subscribe to the YouTube. Anyway, that's all. I don't want to say anything else. Bye!
Nice.
I'm so glad I remembered.
We got big theater kid energy. Look out, we project, we sing out, Louise. Never mark it, always go full out. John Patrick Shanley never had a doubt. Our voices are warm, fan kicks are high. We've got perfect form. We say thank you, Five. Grab your prop, charge all the glow take. Curtains going up. 5, 6, 7, 8. We got Big Theater Kid